I want to share with you a couple studies that were done looking at screen time in children and adolescents. But before I do, it's important to acknowledge what a toxin is. We know that lead, for example, as a heavy metal, is detrimental to the developing brain of a child. And we've known this for quite some time now. But we often don't give pause and think about other emotional inputs that might act as a toxin. In this case, screen time. So there was a study published in July of 2021. They looked at 718 children and looked at the average screen time and how they responded in terms of their development based on whether they were experiencing more or less. So the average time was 2.39 hours, which I think is quite high to begin with. And what they found was that language acquisition, communication, and developmental delay was more prevalent in those that had more screen time. And this was in children under the age of 5. So quite alarming, to say the least. A more recent study was done in March of 2022, looking at over 29,000 adolescents between the ages of 16 and 18. And looking at their average screen time, which was about 3 hours, and looking at those who had more than that. And the more screen time that these individuals were exposed to, the more stress they experienced, the more sadness they experienced, and the more suicidal ideation they experienced. So I think there's an important lesson here in making sure that we really limit the use of technology and understand that it could be a great tool for learning, but it can also be a tool that can be detrimental on the developing brain.